Hello, hello, hello. How are we today? Thanks for tuning in. And we're going to get this party started very soon. Got a good show. We're going to talk about cleaning up and cleaning out of stuff. And excuse me, I'm eating.
60 seconds.
Okay, thank you. 1 minute. I didn't have lunch today, so I'm starving. Roll cold. Such a beautiful day today. I didn't get to really enjoy it, unfortunately, but it was really, really nice out. Drinking from my Cancun cup. Went to Cancun back in February. We're gonna get this party started soon. Hello, and thank you for tuning in today and spending some time with me. You are listening to the Financial Chick Show, and I am the Financial Chick. My name is Denise Nostrom, the CEO and owner of Diversified Financial Solutions, a full-service independent financial planning firm located in Medford. Your Financial Chick is here to help you make better financial decisions and choices to improve your life and reduce your anxiety and stress about money. If you want to know more about me or my firm, you can check out my website at financialchickshow.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram at Diversified Financial Solutions, so like our pages to get updates and see what is happening. So today, we're gonna do something a little bit different. I guess, as really at any age, we just kind of start accumulating things, whether it be things or paperwork or just a lot of knickknacks stuff, or whatever the case may be. So there's times that we may feel like we're just drowning in stuff. Does anybody feel like that sometimes? Like, you get the mail and the statements and then taxes. Everything just kind of accumulates and it's there, and we don't really know what to do because, we have really two schools of people, right? The people that throw everything out, and then there's the people that keep everything. So I'm going to try to get you right in the middle. Like, what are the things that you should retain and what are the things you can just totally get rid of? So, there is always paperwork and items, that you bought that you just don't want to see, or perhaps you don't want to dust anymore. So, spring and fall are always really good times to do a deep clean and rid yourself of the stuff you really just don't want or need anymore. Really, it doesn't even have to be spring or fall, but we always call fall cleanup, spring cleanup. But it really can be done at any time of the year. So today, what I'm going to attempt to do is create some calm amongst the chaos in our homes and in our file cabinets. So everybody has a junk drawer or two, or maybe more than that. We're just busy with work, with family obligations, and just where to put stuff. So if you ask my family, sometimes I'm overwhelmed with mail. There's just so much mail. I have the business, I have personal, and just, I have this illustrious pile that I have to go through, and then I wean it down and I get so excited, and then like the next week it like piles up again. Did you know that the average American home, and notice I say American home has around 300,000 items in it? So obviously it's natural for clutter to accumulate. It just happens. So with that, so really being disorganized is not like abnormal, which is sad to say, but it's really, really important to clear out the clutter every once in a while, so you can focus on what really truly matters in your life, because sometimes it really gets you, just being under the pile of paperwork, so to speak, but it does get you down. It's a lot. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about taking inventory of your home and the things that are in it, and some strategies with that, and then how to safeguard said documents, the things that we need to retain. So how long do we keep those documents? So, it doesn't matter where you keep them, whether in a folder or a fireproof safe, which again, we'll talk about some other alternatives, but it may be a good time to go through, make sure you have, what you need, and then clear out any unnecessary paperwork. So in general, you don't need to keep receipts or bills after you ensure the credit card statement is paid or the bill is paid, but you should hold on any documents that are relevant to filing your taxes. That's a biggie. There are exceptions, which include medical bills, utility bills for home office, or receipts for large purchases, or work-related expenses. So let's start off with the things that you really should retain forever. Not really, you have to retain them forever. These are the most important things, and these are documents really from important life events. So your Social Security card, super important, birth certificate, marriage certificate. I'll go with divorce certificate if that was part of your world. Your will and any type of papers like that, power of attorney, trust, etc. Adoption papers and death certificates. So these are the things that you want to retain basically in perpetuity, and maintain them or retain them in a place that's easily accessible, and for people to find, and for people. Well, another good rule of thumb is, so not just yourself, but somebody else knows where those documents are. So of course the biggest thing that people always ask is tax returns, and this is kind of a speculative type of thing, so it really depends. There's a couple of schools of thought. So tax returns, some schools of thought say that we should keep it indefinitely. Just a little fun fact, I literally have all my tax returns, like since I started my business and working. I know a little crazy, but I have all of those. And that's something you may want to consider doing. Now, you can keep the tax returns, but you really don't need the supporting documents necessarily, but the tax returns to retain. And then also, another important thing that you want to keep indefinitely, we're on the indefinitely thing, mortgage payoffs. You get your mortgage, when you get that satisfaction letter from the county that you paid off your mortgage, always keep that, because you just never know what's going to come down the pike. So with the tax returns, like I said, it's kind of, there's a mixed message there. So it could be indefinitely. The rule of thumb, for the most part, is 7 years. You just want to be cautious, because it's one of those things that when you really need something, you've got rid of it, and trying to now recreate this or find it or see if somebody has it is always the problem. So if you have any like securities or bad debt deductions, they're saying about 7 years to keep it. 6 years if you do not report income that you should report, and it's more than 25% of gross income shown on your return. So again, there's a lot of schools of thought here, so I'm not going to get into the gory details, because the IRS gives you all these friggin' options. But I would say 7 years if you really just have a basic return. If you have a business, or if you've done a lot of stock transactions, mutual fund transactions, you may want to retain that. Like I said, you don't need to keep all of the supporting documentation, although stock sales and purchases, you definitely want to keep those the companies do a better job now of tracking that, but I've had situations where I've had to go back and it's been a nightmare. So when in doubt, ask myself, ask your financial advisor, ask your tax accountant, just to make sure that things are good. All right, so what do we keep for 3 to 7 years? You want to keep off a record of any loans that you pay off. And again, back to that tax returns, the 7 year thing. Now, the supporting documents for any tax return you want to keep for about 3 years, because that's usually the time that they can go back. And then the annual summary of investments, the rule of thumb there is 3 years as well. Again, I keep all my year-end statements. So we just had, the year-end. You can get rid of all the quarterly statements or, the monthly statements that you get and just keep your year-end. So that's kind of like a thing. It's really personal preference. I'm a little bit more of a keeper. I know, like hoarding, but I just know that whenever I need something, especially my clients too, like it's usually I'd rather have it available to me than not. So okay, so what do we keep for a year or less? We're going to keep quarterly investment records, quarterly retirement statements, credit card statements, pay stubs. This is all less than a year. Medical bills, receipts for large purchases, or until the warranty expires, because then it really doesn't matter. Any type of receipts, you're going out, you're buying a shirt, whatever the case may be, that you can keep for a month. Once you get your credit card bill and you see that it was on there, you paid for it, you can move on. Credit card bills, 1 month or until paid. If you have a recurring balance, you may want to retain that stuff just to make sure everything's good. And then bank transaction receipts, typically 1 month. All right, and then other things, utility bills, you just want to keep them until they're processed. Maybe keep it for a year just to have a background as to what you were paying. If you're going to do expense sheets for your financial advisor, you want to have at least a year under your belt. But if you have it, you pay it through credit card or your checking account, you're going to have some type of record. Loan documents, you want to keep them until you pay them off. Home and car insurance policies until you receive new ones. Home improvement records while you own the house. So that's something you step up in cost basis. You want to keep all those things, throw that into a file, just a home file, so everything's together. Car title and records, obviously, while you own that car. So, we tend to keep things. Again, we may, feel like there's history there and that type of thing, and we feel, attached to it. But you don't need to keep everything in perpetuity, and you definitely can wean out some stuff and reduce your load and get more filing space in your filing cabinets. So this is something, if you have any questions, if you want to give the call to the office, we can always email this list to you. It's a nice concise list to kind of give you a guideline. So you are listening to the Financial Chick, Denise Nostrom, the company's Diversified Financial Solutions. I help you look for financial solutions when you feel like there are none. Stay tuned after the break. I always have so much stuff, and then I run out of time because it goes so fast, but I have so many things to talk about all the time.
Minute 30.
Thank you. How you doing?
Hi.
What's going on?
I dropped something off. Give me a quick
Good
one.
to see you. Good to see you.
You okay? How's the show
Yeah,
going?
we're on Facebook Live.
Awesome.
We're
Hi,
good.
everyone.
What's that?
I said hi, everyone.
All right. Well, it's good to see you. Have a good weekend.
You as well.
Call me. You gotta give me a call too. All right. I'll talk to you soon.
$40 seconds.
Okay. Thank you. Wow. Time flies. Welcome back. This is Denise Nostrom, the Financial Chick, and you are listening to the Financial Chick Show. My company's in Medford, and you can reach me at 631-758-8691 or visit my website at financialchickshow.com. I'm here to help you on your financial journey. Over the years, things change, and I'm here to help you navigate all those changes. So today, we are talking about cleaning up and cleaning out. So we just went over the documents that we retain and got a realization that we don't have to keep everything forever, and how we can wean that stuff down. And like I said, if you do want that list, we can certainly get that to you if you want to contact my office or my website at financialchickshow.com. All right, so next on the list is that once we clean up all that paper, one thing that we really want to do is we want to take a look at creating a home inventory checklist. So whether you're moving to a new place or just taking stock of your current home, having a record of your valuables is important if you ever need to file an insurance claim. It's also critical for ensuring that you have enough personal property insurance to cover those things that you can't afford to lose. So here's some things to do. First, you want to break up the task by room. Since it's daunting and it's not really the most exciting thing to do, so you want to take each room and kind of roll through the room and see what's something that would be important, to write down or would have a value. There's no right place to start. It may be easiest to begin in a small contained area like a jewelry case or entertainment center, in your living room or in your bedroom or wherever you have these things. But remember to account for valuable items anywhere else too, in your backyard, maybe like lawn equipment or whatever the case may be that would be in the shed. So you also may want to note things that are in storage if you have a public storage container. So there's also insurance limits of off-site items. So you want to make sure you include those as well. So and what's interesting about this too, we're talking about spring clean, fall clean, whatever the case may be, or it could be summer or winter. As you're going through the house, it might be a good time to look at those things you don't really need too. That broken TV that you have or computers. I'm going to show you a way to kind of do something with those as well. So number 2, we want to write down some details. It's important to include some specific information when recording high value items. If you have a collection of maybe designer purses, include the brand name and style. For electronics, you want to ensure to record the serial number and pertinent model and year information. So you also want to record an estimated value of those items. So again, if anything were to happen, if you have a receipt, that's the best thing to do. But if you just have a fair market value, if stuff were to go down in a bad way, it's less things you have to do there. And again, you're reimbursed for actual cash value, which takes into account wear and tear on the various items. Another good practice would be to take a photo or video. It's the best way to inventory your home, and you could just kind of go around, take some pictures and see what you have, and do that in tandem with the list that you have of the inventory. And then finally, understand what your insurance covers. Once you understand the value of the items in your home, it's time to look into that insurance policy. Whether you're getting insurance coverage for the first time or simply updating it, it's important to check that big ticket item and have the amount of coverage that you're comfortable with. And so it's very exciting news. On May 5th, on my show, Friday, May 5th, I'm going to have Alicia Bender on, who owns Insurance with Alicia. She's a licensed property and casualty insurance broker. So we're going to talk all about that stuff and really drill down about things that you should do. And again, we work hard for everything that we get, so we might as well protect it if, God forbid, something goes down. And we'll talk obviously about car and property insurance and everything. So I'm pretty excited to have her on my show in a couple weeks. So then back to the important documents. What are some places that you can do to safeguard those documents? One thing, you get a fireproof safe. That's a good thing to put in your birth certificates. Making sure that if there was a fire, that's something that you'd still have those things. Because again, recreating a birth certificate or a Social Security card or anything like that sometimes is just not that fun. And if you go through a bad situation, that's the last thing you want to do. At least one less thing that you have to do. Safety deposit box. So it's away from home at a bank or a credit union. Reduces the amount of disaster, but keep in mind that it's maybe a little bit inconvenient. And I just heard from a client that if a client passes that owns said safety deposit box, is a bit of a job to get into that safety deposit box. So do your research before you make a decision there. Digital copies. Obviously, we're in the electronic age. Keeping electronic versions of your documents on your computer or even a USB drive, that might be something that you want to do. And again, it's something if you're traveling, you could take it with you. So it's kind of a neat thing. Cloud storage for documents that only exist digitally. Save copies in the cloud so that they're secure. And it's, having safety measures like a firewall, secure passwords obviously is a big help as well. Plastic bags or page slips. For items you want to keep safe from water damage or mold, consider sealable plastic bags. It's a simple way to add another layer of protection to the documents you want to keep at home. There's always, with the moisture and, humidity and stuff like that, sometimes you put something away and then oh my gosh, look, it looks terrible. So, and of course a home filing cabinet. I think most people probably have it, and if not, maybe just get one at Walmart or something like that. Proper home organization itself is a method of protecting your documents and keeps you organized. A filing cabinet ensures papers stay in good condition and that you can easily find them when you need them. And they're all in one place. You have everything that you need, and sometimes we have certain stuff in the bedroom and then certain stuff in the living room and you have some stuff in the kitchen. So here, if you have a home filing cabinet in one room, you can put everything there, get some nice folders and label them, and it just makes life organized and easy, and you feel good once you get it done. It's a job to do, but once you get it done, you feel great. And then, in case of emergency grab bag, creating an emergency grab bag or binder that contains all of your must-have information like account numbers, where to find important documents, and contact information for your power of attorney. Another really, really good practice. And to share this stuff with your family, that's really, really important, because sometimes we do all these things, but then the people don't know where to find it. And in doing this for so long and having people pass and stuff like that, the beneficiaries or the children or the people that are inheriting, that they appreciate obviously that they can get everything and know, and there's a lot. You're just in the know. You don't have these question marks like, oh my God, did I find everything? Is this everything that this person had? So just take the time. It doesn't have to be overnight, but take the time and do it. All right, so once we cleared up all that paper and organized our homes, now what? Well, now this is going to be pertinent to the town of Brookhaven, but I think that other towns, town of Islip, and everybody has these programs too. But town of Brookhaven has a great recycling program, and it has already started. The first one was actually on April 15th, last Saturday, but there's many, many more ranging, well, actually this Saturday, so tomorrow, Saturday, April 22nd at Comswag Public Library, which is located at 170 Terry Road in Port Jefferson Station, from 9 to 1. They're taking e-waste, paper, and drugs. So as you're going through your house and you're cleaning this stuff, so now you have a place to bring it. And one thing with the electronics, that's really a great thing to do. Instead of people leaving it on the side of the road or throwing it in their garbage pails, for the garbage men or women, I had to say that right, electronics, things like TVs, printers, old monitors, scanners, keyboards, cell phones, answering machines if we have those, fax machines, hard drives. This is not an all-inclusive list, but you can go on the Town of Brookhaven website and get an idea of all of the various items that they take. And also the same thing with drugs. So if you have medications, again, this helps not having the people that shouldn't have it in their hands, the medication that you had, bring it, the police will take it and will dispose of it properly. So that's a big deal, and it's a good service. We pay taxes, right, in this town, so we might as well take advantage of some of the services. So get in, dig in, clean up, and like I said, we have a lot of these. They're ranging all the way through April, May, June. They take a break over the summer, but then they're back in September, October, November, so you have a lot of time to do it. So get it done and get it started, and you'll feel so much better. It's a wonderful thing. So that's it. It's a wrap. Have a great weekend. I want to thank you all for listening. I hope you got some great information and hope you get started. And if you need, you're not sure about stuff, like I said, email me, give me a call, 631-758-8691, or you can, go to the website at financialchickshow.com. We're here to help. That's what we do. And, like I said, and keep you organized. So remember let's try to do better and be better. and have a wonderful weekend. Until next Friday. And that is a wrap. I hope you got some good information today. It was a lot of information, but truly, if you do have any questions and you're not sure what I said or how I said it, or if you want me to send you the information, I'm always willing to do that. So have a great weekend, everybody, and I will see you soon. Bye.